ex-husband and I adopted Chris and his brother in 1996 from Russia.
I'm Chris Goudy. I have FASD, Fetal Alcohol Syndrome. I guess I just like to sleep, text, play a lot of sports, and chill with a bunch of friends.
He used to bring homework home, and he would, on a regular basis, have meltdowns because he didn't understand the math. He was overwhelmed by the end of the day. He just really couldn't handle doing one more thing because of the overstimulation, which is a direct result of FASD.
I ended up either just sleeping in class or not really paying attention to anyone. I just shut down, not care what anyone said. Yeah, I have a bunch of teachers who lectures, and I've told them before that lecturing, it just makes me sleepy, but apparently they don't listen and they still do it.
When I told the teachers, at the beginning of the year, we would always have IEP meetings, or I would always call teacher meetings to talk about FASD and how it affected the kids. They had an IEP that they sort of followed, but they really didn't understand what it meant, nor did they care. I looked at all the diagnoses, and there was nothing on there about FASD, or FAS at the time. And I said, Alex has FAS. And she says, oh, you wouldn't want to put that on an IEP. And I said, well, it's a medical diagnosis. I mean, why would I not? Why would I not want to do that? Well, because people think bad things when they look at that. They would automatically look at it and just assume that he's mentally retarded, or that you're a bad person because you drank. They don't look any further than the first page. And I said, well, that's against the law. I don't know. And I had to insist that it be put in his IEP.
Do you tell your friends what your diagnosis is?
Yeah, and they laugh about it, so I don't care. I mean, it's just a thing I have. I don't tell all my friends, but mostly my friends.
They need to add FASD as a disability. It doesn't fit all the way with autism. It doesn't fit with just dyslexia. It's not ADHD. Because FASD is not a diagnosis, teachers don't know about it. So Chris can walk into one room and learn a lesson on one day and then walk back into the same classroom the next day, and he's never heard it. And then I get a report about his bad behavior. There just needs to be a more balanced educational opportunity for kids with learning differences. And he was suddenly went from a small school to a school with about 2,000 kids. There was constant jostling, just physical jostling, kids pushing each other. There was one particular kid who really, really who did bully him.
Just the kid kind of like a little bit got in the, I don't know, he just pissed me off too much. I just threw him in the wall.
I knew that his impulsivity was a direct result of his FAS.
Freshman year was hard because I didn't really know anyone. Playing football did make me feel part of the school. I liked it a lot. Well, that one coach did help me become a better person and did help me stay on the team. He believed that I could become a better and stronger person if I stayed in mine, and pretty much I did.
His favorite teacher, although he'll deny it because he doesn't like history, was his 7th grade history teacher. She understood FAS, and she knows that they learn in a multisensory fashion. And he got to work with his hands, and he got to see movies, and he got to read, and he got to put it all together. When they studied World War II, they built trenches, and that was the favorite project. And they wrote old letters, and he came home and we burned the edges of the paper, and he got good grades, and he really enjoyed it. And he made a bet with her at the beginning of the year. He said, I hate history, and she said, I bet I can change your mind. And he still claims to hate history, yet history was the first SOL he ever passed.
With SOLs, I don't know if it's weird for me. If I don't care about it, and I just guess randomly, I end up doing it. I don't pass it, but I get a high score. If I read the questions and actually understand it, I get a low score. I don't know how that happens.
I think he has test anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
His geometry teacher last year said Chris knows the geometry, but when it comes to testing, he doesn't test well. He's never been able to test well.
It does feel like frustrating because they know that I'm doing well, but when the tests come, I just get like a low score.
I made the decision, it was a chancy decision, but I put him in the autism class where he would get the services that he would need.
I guess it felt odd going there the first time. But then eventually there were other kids like me in there, so I had to hang out with them.
He must have progressed 6 months in that year, which was more than he had done in the first 3 years of school. And he was calm, he was happy, he was more relaxed.
And I started gymnastics when I was about 9. I work at Jiminy Gymnastics. This will be my 4th year doing it. Started in 9th grade. I coach both boys and girls. The coach I work with was my coach who I really liked. I learned from him. It's a boys class that I work with. They're a good group, but some kids need to listen, put effort into it. If I do, or I'm hoping I do graduate this year, but when I do, I'm taking a year off, see if I can get a full-time job at Jiminy. If not, then I gotta find somewhere else quickly, or else she's gonna kick me out of the house.
No, I'm gonna charge you rent.
When I turn 18, I'm going for my license. I have a permit still.